Hey everyone, and welcome back to Outta Here Baseball. In this video, we'll be looking at the starting lineup from Jackie Robinson's debut and what happened to those players. The date was April 15th, 1947 at Ebbets Field in Brooklyn, New York. A 28-year-old Jackie Robinson took the field for the Dodgers, becoming the first African American to play in the majors in the modern era and breaking the baseball color barrier. Robinson's Dodgers would take on the Boston Braves on opening day 1947 in a close game that would end 5-3 in the Dodgers' favor. But who else was in the lineup that day with Robinson, and what happened of their careers? Let's find out as Outta Here Baseball presents what happened to Jackie Robinson's debut lineup. We'll go through the lineup by the batting order that day, and leading off at second base was Eddie Stanky. Stanky would make his first All-Star team in 1947 and was known for his ability to draw a ton of walks. He would lead the National League in the category 3 times and reached 100 in a season 6 times. Just to put things in perspective, his career batting average was .268, but his on-base percentage was .410. That skill set would show on this particular day as he went 0 for 3 with a walk and runs scored. He would be traded to the Braves following the 1947 season in order for Robinson to move to second base and bat leadoff. Speaking of Robinson, he was batting second and playing first base in his debut. With Stanky locked in at second base and leadoff, Robinson was forced to adjust to first base to get playing time. In his debut, he would go hitless, but reached on an error in the 7th and would go on to score what would be the winning run. Jackie put together a big rookie season, leading the league in stolen bases and leading the Dodgers in hits, runs, doubles, and home runs, culminating in Rookie of the Year honors. Robinson would go on to have a Hall of Fame career, and his number 42 jersey is arguably the most iconic number in all of North American sports. Batting third and playing center field was Pete Reiser. Reiser was a star in his early 20s with the Dodgers, finishing second for MVP in 1941 at age 22, while leading the league in several offensive categories. Injuries from both baseball and military service would derail his career, and 1947 was his last season as a big league regular. Reiser had the top performance in Robinson's debut, going 2 for 2 and drawing 2 walks. He drove in 3 runs and scored twice, meaning he was at least partly responsible for all of the Dodgers' runs that game. And another note on Reiser's proneness to injury, Ebbets Field became the first ballpark with padded outfield walls, largely due to Reiser's play style in the outfield. The cleanup hitter was right fielder Dixie Walker. Walker was one of the biggest stars on the Dodgers during the 40s, making 5 All-Star teams and consistently being in the conversation for MVP. He was 36 years old in 1947 and recorded 1 hit and 3 at-bats on opening day. 1947 would be his last season in Brooklyn, and Walker would finish his career with over 2,000 hits, 1,000 runs scored, and 1,000 runs batted in. Batting 5th in left field was Gene Hermanski. Hermanski was more of a 4th outfielder for most of his career, but was known for a strong left-handed power swing. He only played in the majors for 9 seasons, with most of those coming with the Dodgers. On opening day in 1947, he would record 1 hit and an RBI, but only had 189 at-bats during the season, as lifetime Dodger Carl Furillo would receive most of the playing time in the outfield. And in case you were wondering, Dodgers legends Duke Snider and Gil Hodges would play briefly in 1947, but wouldn't become starters until the next season. In the 6th slot was Bruce Edwards at catcher. Edwards was a young catcher in 1947 and would make his first All-Star team that season, hitting 9 home runs and driving in 80 runs, one of which he drove in during Robinson's debut. Sadly, a combination of an arm injury and the debut of Hall of Fame catcher Roy Campanella in 1948 reduced Edwards to a backup role, and in 1951 he was traded to the Cubs. Batting 7th at third base was Spider Jorgensen. Jorgensen debuted alongside Robinson that day and would drive in a run while also drawing a walk. 1947 was his only full season in the bigs, and he performed at an above-average offensive level for the Dodgers that season. He would last play in 1951 with the Giants and accumulated 201 total hits with 9 home runs. As to why his nickname was Spider, it came from a pair of black gym shorts with an orange stripe he wore growing up that reminded one of his teachers of a black widow. In the 8th slot is Dodgers legend Wee Reese at shortstop. Reese had debuted for the Dodgers prior to World War II, but would miss 3 years due to military service. He came back in 1946 as an All-Star and would continue to play at a high level until 1958, still with the Dodgers. He would hit a double and walk once on opening day and would finish his career with over 2,000 hits and 1,300 runs scored. Reese is perhaps best remembered as one of the first to accept Robinson as part of the Dodgers, often credited with shooting down the petition some Dodgers players were signing that said they would not play if Robinson was on the team. Reese and Robinson would become close friends and form one of the most iconic double-play duos of all time. Rounding out the lineup was the starting pitcher that day, Joe Hatten. Hatten was in his second year in the majors in 1947, but was already 30 years old at the time, having served in the military prior to his playing career. He allowed just one earned run on opening day over 6 innings, and even recorded a bunt single at the plate. Hatten would remain a strong pitcher for the Dodgers for a few more seasons, but would last play in 1952 with the Cubs, finishing with a 65-49 record with a 3.87 ERA. So that concludes our video on what happened to the players from Jackie Robinson's MLB debut. Is there a team or topic you want to see covered in this series next? Leave a suggestion in the comments below. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and click the bell icon to stay notified on all the latest Outta Here baseball content. Thanks for watching.